All right, while Jim comes up, thank you for letting us do some reflection on our recent trip to Back Bay Mission in Biloxi, Mississippi. These are some of our folks that were part of the 14-member team. You'll see some others on a video that we'll share. And there were some folks at the 8 o'clock service as well. So Jim Young, in case you don't know, Jim Young, Linda Lenhart, and Pam, and of course everybody knows Michelle. With her choir faces, we said there. So Linda, why don't you give us a little background, just briefly, about Back Bay Mission and what it does?
Thank you. Back Bay Mission has been around for 100 years. As you know, last year we were lucky enough to be part of that celebration. And our typical day starts with breakfast at 7 o'clock. And then every morning at 7:30, a staff member comes into our kitchen area and has a meeting, and we discuss. Everybody has the right to decide what they're going to do that day. And the different things that can be done is there's a food pantry where we get to see the clients that we hand out food for the unsheltered and also ones that have a home. The ones that have a home have refrigerators so they can get meat and milk, and the ones that do not have a home have to get the non-perishables. And then there's a Micah Day Center where people come in to use the address as a resume for jobs, and also they take showers. And everybody that takes a shower, they are handed a whole new set of clothing, so they're always looking for donations. Then the other opportunity to volunteer is at what's called the Loaves and Fishes. The Catholic Diocese has donated the gym where they feed anybody can come in and they can have lunch. And we can either serve it or be a runner that we hand them their food. The other opportunity to serve is at the work site. And with that, I'm going to let Jim take over.
Jim didn't want to talk, but...
That's all right. I'm a rather shy person. But the time that I spent there was very fulfilling. And
That's okay.
And I worked 4 days out at the construction site, and I must say I'm a little bit on the older side. I won't go much further than that. And the other day I worked at the showers, I guess so to say, where the people could clean up. That's where I really got to meet a lot of these people, which was very fulfilling. And I must say, the work out at the construction site was rather strenuous, to say the least. And it was very fulfilling. So, and I'd like to see more people go next year.
Good. And I'll just share, I said to Jim, you're very experienced in working. I'm not, so I'm going to work under your direction. And Jim worked very hard. He was perspired. He was using a circular saw. Ironically, they gave me the skill saw. And I'd say, Jim, don't you want to take a break? What I meant was, I want to take a break. Jim, don't you want to sit down? Meaning, I wanted to sit down. He just pushed through. So Pam, tell us, when you first heard about this, what got you to spend a week in Biloxi, Mississippi, and invest, time and money into this mission experience?
Well, I had heard everyone that went last year when they spoke up here.
Yep.
And that just kind of touched my heart. And then back in December, Pastor David said to me when I was leaving, he said, Pam, he said, why don't you think about coming to Mississippi with us? He said, I think that would be a good thing for you to do. So.
And you did.
Yep, so I just decided, okay, I'll try it, even though going on a trip like that was like way out of my box. I'm sure everybody knows how quiet and an introvert that I am, but
And here you are sitting in front of the church.
Yeah, I know.
All right. How about Michelle?
Okay, before we pass it to Michelle, and this is a big step for Pam up here. Pam was one of the fortunate ones to work in each area that you can, in every single spot, which is hardly unusual.
I didn't work at the house, though,
You came to our house, though.
just to see it.
And to have the opportunity to work in every place, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, that was just very good. I don't know, it was very
Going through that door.
emotional. Just seeing all these people that need help, that don't have a home. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but you just think, wow, look at all the stuff I have at home. And these poor people have like nothing or very little. And yet most of them were really in a good mood. They seemed to be happy. They were smiling. They would always say to us, "Oh, you have a blessed day." And it just was amazing to me how people who have nothing were just so happy and
grateful.
thankful. They were thankful for, like at the Micah Day Center, they'd come in and they said, "Can I have a plastic grocery bag?" And you would think you gave them the world, this one little plastic grocery bag, and we probably all have 100 of them at home and don't think anything of it.
Right.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Michelle, how about you?
Well, I probably have said it 5 million times, but I literally cried tears last year when I was not able to go on the trip. I was very called at that time to participate in this mission. I actually have 2 of my uncles are in other parts of Mississippi, so I've been in that state through the years, and I really just felt it in my heart. So this year, I had to make a very conscious effort to, make sure that I was on this trip, which I did, thank you, Jesus, because it was a truly transformational trip. And to say Jim is one of the older, he was quite the spry chicken on our work sites every day. That was one of the more demanding jobs, obviously, because I was one of the younger persons on this trip. I felt compelled to do a lot of the manual labor. So 4 of my 5 days were actually spent on the work site. We were working on a new construction. So I don't think Linda touched on the fact that part of Back Bay, they do some work with lower income families that need repairs and cannot afford essential repairs to their homes, like a new roof or a floor replaced or something substantial like that, so they can go on a list. And the mission, through the volunteers and the donations to the mission, get to actually, complete these repairs for people. And then there are new constructions that are relatively small in our eyes. About 800 square feet was the size of this construction that we were working on when we were there. So they are going to be built, and then they will be available for sale for low-income qualifying families. So it was really just such a pleasure to know that we were part of building a home that there is a family out there for, that maybe this is every penny that they've been able to save in their entire lifetime to put into buying this home, and they're going to have, memories and love and fill it with all of the things that we have in our homes that we may take for granted every day. Truly transformational, truly emotional. Everyone knows I cry a lot, and I'm going to really try hard not to do that today. But absolutely everything about this week was emotional. It touched your heart. It made you feel so empathetic for these people, these unsheltered. And we learned in the program that there are 500 to 600 at least unsheltered persons in just the city of Biloxi, which is tremendous. I know that some of the slides show the tent city, so the renovated gymnasium that is also the house of the soup kitchen, that were available to volunteer through. All of the playing fields previously and the campus grounds of that previous high school are where the tent city is currently residing. So to see these people living in tents in the woods and in the open, in the heat, is just tremendous. It is so eye-opening and so heart-touching. You can't help but just want to give so much of yourself to this community of people. The workers, the staff at Biloxi were amazing. They were some of the best and big-heartedest, is that even a term? People that you could ever know. They just welcomed us in, and this is, it must be kind of strange concept for maybe us to understand, but these people welcome in a different group of people every week of the entire year. So they're working with a different group every week, which is tremendous. And for them to show us such kindness and love and support in helping us do and give to this community was just amazing to me. Really enjoyed the whole thing.
No surprise to anybody, Michelle is our leader for next year. Michelle, I'm so proud of her. We've all adopted Michelle as our daughter.
I have a lot of new moms.
And the transformation that she talks about, last year when I went, I was not a member, and I only knew Pastor David. And the other 12, I have a friend for a lifetime. This year there were 10 that went for the first time, and that increased our family. So the transformation of our family growing is tremendous. And I'd like to say 3 things that I really got out of this trip. The food, which the 4 people that I call the kitchen work site are not able to come, but we will hear them on the video, but they won't discuss the food. And we had homemade food, pounds of sugar and butter all week with the desserts and the homemade meals. So a shout out to our kitchen work site. And the second thing is every night we played pinochle. And the one Monday, 6 of us took a walk to we didn't know where, but we ended up at this boutique for 2 hours. So we all left with a bag in our hands. So besides all the hard work, there is relationship built with our Jordan family.
So you can go for Jesus and stay for the food.
And bring home a few extra pounds.
I thought I was going to go down there and lose weight. False.
Okay, I'd like to show the video, and then we'll have some closing comments. I didn't give Adam a lot of time to make the transition, sorry. And our trip next year is booked for May 18th through the 24th, 2025. So put it on your calendar now. Sure? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Well, we're waiting for the video queue. Go ahead. Oh. Yeah, hold on, just hold on. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Jordan UCC with me, your favorite pastor. We're still here at Back Bay Mission in Biloxi, Mississippi, with 14 participants from our church for a week-long work camp. I'm here with Darlene and Marge.
I signed up because I heard so much about it in the past from last year. The people came last year and they had such a wonderful experience, and I felt like I wanted to come and find out what it was all about.
Fantastic. And Marge, since this is your second time, what made you sign up to come back a second time?
I think because the people here, the guests, tore at my heart for the plights in their lives, and also the incredible dedication of the staff that is here in terms of taking care of them and hoping that they can better those people's lives and help them move on.
We spent a year really searching for a church, and then when we came, we heard about the mission trip, and we've never done anything like this before, so I think, especially me, I'm always on to an adventure, learning something new, and the organization I used to work for was very philanthropic, so this seemed like a chance to do something a little bit different, so talked it over and decided, well, let's give it a try.
I turned 40 in February, and my wife wanted to surprise me for my birthday, and says I'm difficult to get presents for, so came up with the idea of a missions trip. And when she reached out to my mom, Susan Christine, she had mentioned the group that comes down here every year, and it just seemed like the perfect fit to come on our first missions trip with people that that we know and others that we just got an opportunity to meet this week. So it was a great opportunity to come on our first trip with a local church organization that we're very well familiar with.
I was amazed at how caring and devoted to the people that the staff have. And they really do their best to help them and care for them. And it made me feel good.
It was not only really seeing how they fight for the rights of their homeless individuals, but also getting to meet the staff and seeing dedication within the staff.
Most amazing, impactful parts were just getting to be with the staff here, just getting to kind of see what makes this place run, the frontline staff that serve in the different areas, just getting an opportunity to talk with them and really see the heart behind everything that happens here.
Well, today we're at the work site that we've been at all week here in Gulfport, Mississippi. And I'm with Sal, who has been on this job site every day this week, Monday through Friday. Sal was very involved in our disaster recovery ministry for the Penn Northeast Conference and United Church of Christ. What criteria would you offer to people to help them decide whether this is an appropriate trip for them, an investment of their time and money?
If you have any kind of skills, we had a wide variety of people here with different skills. Some of us have a background in building, electrical. If you don't think you have anything, you can paint. We have the pastor and his wife, they painted all week. We finally got the inside painted, and it just takes time. And if you want to learn, this is the place to come. We have people here on site who are the long-term volunteers that have the knowledge and the patience to teach. So if you want to come and get educated and learn something, this is the place. It'll make your soul feel better and your heart.
Thanks, Sal. I would just make one correction, and that is my wife actually loves to paint. She has skills. I don't have any skills, Sal's right there, but they did let me use a skill saw. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
We'll see you next year.
Thank you.
I would just, if you're feeling a conviction or a hunch that you want to try it out, I would encourage you to pray into that. And anytime you say yes to something that God puts on your heart, you're going to be blessed. So I would absolutely encourage you that if it's on your heart, say yes. The church will help support in figuring out the details, and God will bless you for your answering the call.
Thank you. You've got a blessing. You're welcome.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay, any last comments? Pam? Should be.
I just wanted to say a couple more things. Like on this trip, I made new friends, and I had existing friends that my friendship really, really blossomed. And also, when we got down there, the one staff member said to us, before you came down here, did anybody ask you, why are you going all the way to Mississippi to volunteer? Can't you just volunteer at home here where we are? And I don't remember if any of us really had an answer, but he had a really good answer. He said, at home, you have all your daily distractions, your job, your home, your kids, whatever, and it's so easy to just say, oh, well, sorry, I can't come next week. I have something else to do. But when you go away somewhere, you are like totally immersed in just doing that. that mission. And I did feel that way all week. Mainly what I thought about was Back Bay and how we're helping and what we're doing. It was just wonderful. And another thing, just on a personal note, we got down there and I realized that right down the street was Keesler Air Force Base. And my dad, he was in service from 1950 to 54 in the Air Force, and most of his time was spent in Newfoundland, but he did spend some time in Biloxi at that Air Force base, and so it just was so emotional for me just to know that I was at the same place where my dad was 70 plus years ago. And
That's a God thing.
we did go on the base, a few of us, to go to the store. So that was just very emotional for me.
Okay, any last comments? So if some of you feel called, as Joe said, thinking about it, praying about it, it's a $250 investment for the week. That's a gift to Back Bay for the lodging. And then our airfare ranged from, depending on when we booked and how we traveled, from $315 to $402. And we raised your generosity, contributions, and fundraisers that we had basically covered the transportation and the meals. And so pray about it. You have some time, and put in your vacation or whatever time so that you are ready to join us next year. God bless you. Thank you. Michelle had something to say?
Oh, no, Pastor said it all, really. I just was very humbled to have been asked to lead the mission next year, and I really hope that you all will just hold it in your heart for a little bit of time and really think about what you have to offer. And like Pam said, it was very eye-opening to have that reflection about, all of us here in this room, I can say with certainty, have given to charitable organizations or have given time and spent at a food bank or here at church, helping with the Thanksgiving meal or something to do with our community. But this is a level of service that I had previously never had an opportunity to do. And it changes you. There's no way you could leave this week without your heart being fuller, your soul being filled right up, your bucket overflowing. The fellowship with, these members of our church community that, I'm well immersed in, but, there's lots of you that I don't have personal relationships with, and I've really found so much more family. It's been tremendous. I really invite you to save the time on your calendars and really, truly consider in your hearts, what you have to give. We want to take it all with us to Biloxi next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you.